Hey, YouTube. A good evening to you. Sure everything's hooked up here. Okay. Not another one of these close games. I was actually encouraged by some things in the first half, so I'm not freaking out too much, but let's get started here. It is the 200 level. Mike Carpenter in the basement studio on a Sunday evening right around dinner time for Illinois, Nebraska, second half. And what do you know? It is a close game at the State Farm Center. Keisei Tominaga, red hot. Nebraska as a whole 6 for 13 from 3. Illinois 3 for 13. Could we say as easily as that's the difference in this game? It's a 2-point lead for Nebraska at the break. They were up as many as 7. Illinois at one point had a 1 or 2 point lead, but that was about it. Nebraska has been making just more shots than you have, and I think Illinois offensively had one of their rougher halves, but is it just a matter of the ball going in? I mean, it seemed like there were some good looks. It seemed like you were getting the shots you wanted for the most part, and I think a much more inspired performance than we might have expected from Nebraska on the heels of an emotional overtime win against Wisconsin. I love the hangover narrative because we've seen it time and time again where it is difficult for teams after emotional wins to pick it back up for the next game, especially on short rest. And we have 2 more days of rest than they do. I'd like to think that by the end of this game, that will rear its head, and just that extra bit of bounce in your step will mean you are hitting shots when they maybe start missing theirs. Overall, despite giving up 36 points, I felt like there was more defensive intensity from Illinois in that first half than I've seen recently. Maybe more of a carryover from the Ohio State game, but at the end of the day, you still gave up 36 points. That is not a great defensive half. Also, defensively, if you get stops, I feel like that will lead to some easy buckets. And we did see Terrence aggressive again. I thought a pretty good half for him, pretty good half for Damask, pretty good half for Coleman. Quincy, at least, hey, he made some free throws. And Ty Rodgers doing everything but scoring. I mean, just an absolute monster on the boards and just looking really good and really comfortable out there. So we're going to get underway here in the second half, and it looks like it will be, I think, Illinois ball to start. And as Jacob says, ball movement was good, missed too many threes and layups. I would argue, Jacob, that yes, the ball movement was good, no doubt. There were still a couple possessions where too much movement. Someone just shoot the damn shot. I will be anxious to see how Illinois responds here offensively in the second half. And the key is they show Tominaga on the screen. You can't let him drop like 30 on you and expect to win because that's the recipe that Nebraska needs. And this is a tournament team. This Nebraska team will be in the NCAA tournament. It would not be a bad loss, but when you consider the context at home and how they've been playing on the road so far, yeah, it wouldn't be good. So we're underway. 20 minutes left in the game with Damask over to Quincy. We're on the left side of the perimeter. It's just me tonight, so I'll probably be doing a little more play-by-play. Here's Terrence at the top of the key. Back to Damask. So we were 20 at the shot clock. Coleman on the right side of the perimeter. A lot of work here on the perimeter, but Damask with it on the right side, taking a baseline, looking for Quincy. Up and in. Nice start to the half. Good find and good finish from Quincy. So 19:30 to go. And to me, it's as simple as defense. It's really defense, yet again, which has been kind of the drum I've been banging in the last few weeks with this team. And if we can't have a really good defensive second half, that's a long 2 from Nebraska, and they make it. I don't mind giving them that shot, but they're making shots. So is this just going to be one of those where it's going to take every bit of you to get the win? You got a week off after this, so just guns blazing. Let's get it. Nebraska playing inspired ball, though. The thing is, though, I'm not watching this and thinking we're playing uninspired. I'm not getting that feeling like the Maryland game, let's say. Here's a feed to Ty, up and in. I love Ty. And another good feed from Damask there, so it's tied up again at 38. As Terry says, Ty very active, and he has been the last few games, Terry, but man, he just looks like a wily veteran out there. I'm just really enjoying the comfort with which he's playing with, and it just seems like the game has sort of kind of reached where he's at. And a miss. That was the same shot from the same player from Nebraska, just in the other side of the court, and he airballed it, so Illinois a chance to take the lead. Damask running point on this possession. Here's Terrence on the right side of the perimeter. Gets a pick from Coleman, back to him. It's going to be an open 3. No, he pump fakes, and he looks for Quincy, who up and in. So Illinois with 3 easy looks at the rim. At first, that pump fake by Coleman, I was like, shoot it. But no, it actually worked out well there. 3-point, no good for Nebraska. It's encouraging when you see a team that made a lot in the first half miss their first three in the second. You hope that's kind of a harbinger of things to come. Here's Coleman. Again, looking for Ty and the dunk. What a start to the half, Illinois. 4 looks at the basket. They're on an 8-2 run to start this half, a 13-2 scoring run in the last 4 minutes of regulation, dating back to the first half. So here comes Tominaga off the screen with Terrence trailing him. Was not open. Tominaga off the top of the screen. Terrence still trailing him. He's going to kick it out. And this is going to be a take from Nebraska up and in. Fortunately, no foul called on that. I thought Ty might have gotten Lawrence's hand, but back to a 2-point Illinois lead. But a really good start, I think, on the half for Illinois. Here's DeMass getting the pick right. He kicks it back up to Quincy, over to Coleman. Pump fakes the 3. He's taking a baseline, and he has to give it up to Ty, who gets it back, though. DeMass kicks it over to Terrence. Terrence taking a baseline. Up and in. Illinois with 10 points this half, and they're all layups. Getting what they want at the rim. All right, so let's get it back on defense. Let's get this run going here, or keep this run going. You were down by as many as 7. You're up by 4. Here's Nebraska. 16:40 to go in the half. Back door not open there for Tominaga. Here's Lawrence. Again, Williams, I'm sorry. He misses that 3 pretty badly, and a rebound for Terrence. Can he have a transition bucket here? He kicks it back to Coleman, who wants the 3. Be there. Yes, there we go. What a start to the half for Illinois. 47-40. We'd have to go back to what that run was. It was 13-2 when Illinois was up. I mean, I want to say that now it's like 20-4. What did it say? 18-4 right there? I just missed it on my screen. 18-4 says Jacob. Wow. What a start. Okay. As we got a break here, timeout by Nebraska. Got to hit up the sponsors real quick. DP Dough. I'm on at dpdough.com. I texted Steve on Friday just to gauge the possibility of a 200-level zone. We're going to try to get to work on that in time for March, so I'll be in contact with Steve. But in the meantime, you can get any of their other calzones, custom, with any topping you want, or one of their favorites like the Maui Wowie or the Buffer Zone, online at dpdough.com. Also, Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Give them a call at 217-841-4728. They are your HVAC experts. There are HVAC experts, and this nice balmy weekend with the sun shining, it made me think, hey, it won't be long before we got a call for an AC check. But whatever your HVAC needs are, Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, the best in the business in Central Illinois, 217-841-4728. All right, also, Owen Builders, LLC. I'm on at owenbuildersllc.com. Luke and his staff, really talented at what they do. You can check out a gallery of their work online at owenbuildersllc.com. Home additions, patios, decks, much more, and you can get a free quote today online, again, at owenbuildersllc.com. And finally, State Farm agent Brian Hansen, online at brianismyguy.com for life, auto, home, business, renters, you name it. Brian is my guy, and he can be your guy as well at brianismyguy.com. One thing I've mentioned before that's a really cool feature of State Farm, if you've got an old house, or really just if you got a house or apartment and you are just trying to find any way to protect your property, there's this app called Ting. It basically monitors your electrical system because home fires are one of the leading causes of property damage, and it gives us peace of mind in this old 100-year-old house that we live in. So that's State Farm agent Brian Hansen, online at brianismyguy.com. Okay, what else do we got here? Champagne Showers Podcast Network. Appreciate them. What we're going to do this week is this second half pod, and we'll do one midweek pod. I will not have a pod on Saturday because I'll be in East Lansing for that game against Michigan State, a Michigan State team that ran away with it late against Maryland, and you know that they are pretty good, right? I think they are certifiably an NCAA tournament team, and when they are making shots, they are a tough out, and we saw that here as well. When that game, what was it, 3 weeks ago, it took everything that you had to get that win. So I would expect nip and tuck, 50-50, flip a coin for who's going to win that game Saturday. But it is a big opportunity for Illinois to get a quad one win that can hopefully help elevate you to a 3 line and stay away from the 4-5 second-round matchup. But, hey, it's only February. It's early February, and we got a pretty good Nebraska team. I was going to say pesky. They're more than pesky. They are talented. We're underway again with 16-15 and a half. This is Mass at the top of the key with Coleman on him. He's taking it in, up, and no good, but he gets the board. No, he doesn't. Okay, Illinois gets it. I don't know what That was a really weird possession, but it doesn't go in for Nebraska. Starting to feel like it said earlier, who said regression to the mean? I think that was Illini Brickroll, yeah. That's what I would like to think here with Nebraska on the road. Okay, so Quincy back up top to Damask. We got 12 in the shot clock. Coleman is going to have an open look. The 3 is up, no good. Pretty good look, though, and he's already made 2 of those. 15:40 to go. This is Tominaga on Quincy, and Quincy fouls him. And, yeah, that was a foul. Now, are they going to call this a media timeout as well? Yeah, they are. Timeouts galore. Well, we do have this timeout to talk about the game earlier today, which was Wisconsin-Purdue, and I didn't have it in me to root for Wisconsin. I know that was probably the better outcome if we're talking a chance of winning the Big Ten. I don't see another loss on Purdue's schedule. I don't. They have us on the road for them. Okay, so it's at State Farm Center in early March, and then they close the year at home against Wisconsin. I don't think they're going to have any problem with Wisconsin at home. That was the potential game that they were going to lose, and they didn't. Not to say that they can't trip up, but look it's the Minnesotas and the Rutgers and the Penn States of the world that they have coming up. This is a really advantageous schedule for Purdue, for a team that is national title caliber. And, yeah, it pains me a little bit to say that, but they are. They're really good, and they did that today with, I thought, a subpar Edey. It was the guards that really shone. I mean, Lance Jones, tremendous game, but Braden Smith is, boy, I can't hate someone that good. It was not Braden Smith that ever frustrated me. It was the fact that Purdue had ascended to this level of really, really good basketball and seems to be staying there for a while, because when you have a sophomore point guard like Braden Smith, you're going to be good. Wisconsin, on the other hand, probably have another few games that they're going to drop. I would imagine they probably finish 14-6 in the Big Ten. And I think that is where Illinois might finish as well, though 15-5 maybe. And as I tweeted a few nights ago, just what the hell, win out, and then you don't need to worry about anything. You beat Purdue, you beat Wisconsin, and you win the Big Ten, and you get a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. I don't know what the likelihood of that is. And there are other tough games, including at Penn State. At Maryland, I believe Minnesota's at home, which is kind of good. I think the barn would have been a little tricky to play this year. They've been tough against opponents, but I'm not worried about a Big Ten title. Okay, I think as we sit here on February 4th, my overriding concern is getting to wherever you need to be for March. And not that you can't do both things at once, but I also don't need this team bending over, breaking themselves down in a crazed effort to win the Big Ten when there are bigger fish to fry. This is the advantage of having gotten a banner a couple years ago and a Big Ten tournament title the year before. You've gotten the conference banners. You have established that you are a top Big Ten team, and the other Big Ten teams know that. They know what Illinois' place is currently in this conference. Now, we got Tominaga at the line. Quincy fouled him. Quincy continues to struggle, and I would like to think the early shots for him this half can kind of get him going again. But that was just way too easy of a take for Tominaga, who he's got the speed to get by Quincy, but he just would have liked a little more resistance there. Though Quincy was asking for help and did not get it. Okay, we have a 5-point Illinois lead with 15:30 to go in the game. Damask brings it across. He's still got the starting 5 out there. Here's Coleman at the free throw line, back out top here on a feed from Damask. He's looking for Ty, who kicks it over to Terrence in the corner for a 3. It's up and no good, and we're going the other way. So the threes just continue to not drop for Illinois. A few more of those, and you'd have a comfortable lead, but that's just not the case right now. So we got Mast for 3. It's up, and it's good. They're making their threes, we aren't, and that's why this is a close game. All right. I mean, do you keep shooting them? They're good looks. Coleman has made a couple. Damask made 1, I believe, and that's it. I think that's all you got right now. Terrence made 1 early as well. Okay, here's Damask on the perimeter, getting the pick from Ty. Over to Coleman. Pump fake pass. 3 is up and good. Wow, Coleman's having a game. 50-45, so a big 3 to respond to Mass 3. And now it's time to tighten up on defense. He had a really good start defensively in this half, but Nebraska's starting to get what they want again. Here's Tominaga. That's pathetic. That pisses me off. That pisses me off. Get the defense together. Well, there's your thread. There's your thread for the rest of the game. You're going to win if you make stops. You're going to win if you make stops because you are going to continue to score at a high enough clip. But that kind of paltry closeout, and this is going to be, wow, what an effort by Ty. And Damask gets it back. Someone help him out. Okay, so Illinois gets a fresh 15. Oh, they got 15 on the shot clock. Here's Coleman taking it up. They're going to wave it off and say it was on the floor. And Coleman's ticked. I like the intensity Illinois is playing with offensively, and I've seen bits and pieces defensively as well, but good God, guys. The way you're going to lose this game is just giving up these open looks to freaking Tominaga. 18 points for Tominaga. And that should have been a shooting foul. I don't know if they're discussing it or not. No, it's going to be on the floor. Here's Damask. Up and in. Nice. Nice feed. Nice finish. Illinois making their layups this half. It is a 4-point game. Get a stop. Come on. Here's Hoiberg on Ty Rodgers. And he finds Juwan Gary. And it's going to be out of bounds off of Ty Rodgers. But, hey, great defense and great help there to stop Juwan Gary on the drive. It'll be Nebraska ball, and I would believe, 17 on the shot clock here. All right. Get a stop, guys. I'd like to get to the under 12 timeout with a 5-6 point lead and just, I can't say impose your will on defense because this team has not been doing that. Coleman gets held up on a pick. Fortunately, a miss from Mast on a wide open three. Got a break there. All right, here's Ty up top, over to Terrence. Terrence on the right side of the perimeter. Here's Coleman. Coleman over to Damask. Damask has some room to work. No, back to Coleman. Coleman. A little floater is no good. Not the best look right there. All right, here's Hoiberg over to Tominaga. And they wanted to travel, but they are not going to get it. So Ty is on Tominaga. And Coleman, get the steal, Coleman. Oh, he does not quite get it. It's going to be Hoiberg 3. It's good. Jesus Christ. They're making everything. We got to do better than that. I know there was a breakdown because you were scrambling there, but come on, guys. It's a 1-point Illinois lead. And here's Terrence for 3. Not the best look. Damask with a good board. Sorry, Luke Goody with the board over to Damask. Guys, you're getting to the rim at will. Let's go. Trying to clear out for Damask here. 10 on the shot clock. Over to Terrence. Terrence over to Luke. Luke 3. No good. And a foul. So 2 putbacks. Ty got fouled going up for the putback dunk. Coleman had missed the first putback, which he had time to come down with it and put it back up. Man, oh man. As Ryan says, just one night I want the stupid threes to fall for Illinois. Yeah, they are not. They are not. And you're getting to the rim at will, and Nebraska's making threes. It's the great equalizer. Ty, first free throw was good. He just looks older. Maybe it's the hair. I don't know. Just however he's doing this, he just looks older out there. 8 points and 10 rebounds for Ty Rodgers. I sit here. This is not exactly analysis. I'm keying in on the defense. I'm not worried about the offense this game. Not anymore. All right. Yeah, Luke is 0 for 4 from 3. They got to fall. He misses that, but he gets the board. It's going to be Illinois ball. Great effort by Luke. That's 2 great efforts on offensive rebounding opportunities. It'll be Illinois ball with 12:20 to go. Hey, if you aren't making your shots, do that. 9 offensive boards for Illinois. They got a 30-second shot clock to work with, 20, excuse me. And Harmon is going to inbound it here to Damask. Damask, they should have gotten the foul on Hoiberg over the back there. Call a timeout if you need to, Damask. Nope, he finds Terrence, who finds Harmon. The 3 is no good. Cannot buy a 3. Here's Tominaga, stop and pop. It is going to be Illinois ball. Out on Juwan Gary. Whew. God dang, guys. At what point do you say stop taking threes? But the thing is, they're giving you open threes. So, I mean, you made them before, so do you not? I don't know. Illinois 8 for 16 this half, but most of those misses from deep. So here is Marcus Damask. He's got Hoiberg on him. Dane is in the game for a few minutes. Nice feed to Dane. Dane going to try to roll in, up and in. Nice move, Dane. Good little bounce. As Greg says, never easy. At home, seems that way. All right, here is Nebraska with 11:35 to go. Tominaga on the bench for a little bit, but there's other guys that can shoot it for Nebraska. This is Alec, the power forward. He's going to find Hoiberg over the pick. Alec now to Wilcher. Wilcher up and no good. It's going to be, oh my God, Terrence is not ready for that. Jesus Christ, guys, look alive. Great effort from Luke, and we aren't ready to catch it. Going to be a freaking dogfight because our defense sucks ass. Great. Here's Damask over to Luke, to Terrence. They stop the drive from Terrence. Here's Luke, back to Damask, left side of the perimeter. 11 minutes to go. 1 foul on Illinois, 2 on Nebraska. Nice, clean game. Here's Damask trying to make something happen. He finds Dane, up and in. Pretty feed, pretty finish. Illinois scoring at will at the rim, but not getting stops. 32 points in the paint for Illinois. Far more than Nebraska, I am sure. Here's Wilcher over the pick. Terrence stays on him, and he makes the 2. Holy shnikes. 57-55, Nebraska's hanging. I didn't have any problem with that defensive possession, but I don't know. Here's Harmon trying to drive it in. He gets fouled. All right, so we will get a timeout with 10:17 to go. As Terry says, going to have to keep scoring because we can't stop Nebraska. It's a frustrating trend, Terry. That last possession didn't bother me that much because you got a hand in the face of Wilcher, but this defense is absolute piss poor. It pisses me off. That pisses me off. You have too much talent. Figure it out. You got to play balls to the wall on defense. You are bigger and stronger than they are, and yet they're getting whatever they want. They're getting whatever they want, and they're making it. There's been a couple circus shots. But come on, guys. Figure it out. 2-point Illinois lead. Timeout. Harmon will go to the line to shoot 2. First time they've shot well on the road all season. What's the common denominator here? Illinois' defense. You aren't accomplishing crap. Oh, man, I'm so close to saying a word I shouldn't. You aren't accomplishing crap in March with this defense. You aren't. And fortunately, you got 5 weeks. 6 almost. You do have time, and you have a week off coming up. And you've shown early this season the ability to play pretty good defense. But, man, you are just sliding down the metrics, and that does not bode well. We saw last night a far worse defense than you, but Kentucky, lights out offensively. Didn't matter. They gave up 100 to Tennessee. When it matters most, and you're playing really good teams, you got to get a freaking stop. And this team is just unable to do so. They're just unable to do so, and I don't understand. I mean, effort thing, I don't know. I do not understand it. You have an on-the-ball defender in Terrence that you should feel pretty good with against opposing guards. You got Coleman with his versatility. Quincy's been a no-show. You know, he's just been a no-show recently, and I don't know what the hell is going on with that. But that's got to flip back. And Harmon, pesky, but I don't know. Not great defensively. Ty, really, I don't understand. You have individual defenders, and you just can't put it together. Terry says, Illinois, for some reason, playing better on the road than at home. Yeah, on the whole. It does seem that way. Rutgers, Michigan, Ohio State. You did lose to Purdue and Northwestern. Maybe, am I forgetting a Big Ten road win? You're 7-3, and your home wins are Northwestern, Rutgers, Indiana. I feel like I'm missing a road win there. From Brandon, not really an excuse because everyone is, but Nebraska's screeners are throwing their hip out every time, which is hard to trail on. Yeah, that's true. And, I mean, these guys are letting them play, hence we're getting some good looks at the rim that probably being able to use our physicality to our advantage in that regard. Michigan State at home. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, so that was your other win. 4 wins at home, 3 on the road, and 2 losses on the road and 1 loss at home. This game to be determined. All right, from Jacob, Illinois, 5 for 21 from 3. Nebraska is 9 for 19. Well, yeah, 5 for 21 versus 9 for 19. There you go. That is 12 more points than you have from 3 on 2 less shots. And that is why we are in this nip and tuck game. But I still am waiting for that 4-minute run where you just tighten up the screws on defense. All right. Harmon going the line here. So that was only the 3rd foul on Nebraska. Harmon's first free throw is up and good. 3-point Illinois lead. 10-17 to go. Tominaga still on the bench. He'll probably play the last 8 minutes of the game. I imagine they're spelling him for that. Illinois at the line. They are 12 for 16 today. So that is, 75%. Nebraska 6 for 6. So 13 bench points for Nebraska, 6 for Illinois from Dane and Justin Harmon. Nothing from Luke yet. I still got to think there's a 3 in there for him. There's got to be. Here's C.J. Wilcher. Nice, Terrence. Gets the steal, a chance for some transition. He finds Justin. Over to Luke. Back to Justin. Set up the offense. 20 to go on the shot clock. Here's Dane. Nice entry feed. Up and in. Dane, danger, and 1. Good to see Dane get some tick. And yet again, 2 games in a row where he's being effective out there. Who was this from? Brian mentioned Brad's refusal to go 7 or 8 deep is going to destroy this team by the end of the year. I think that he's been better with rotation. This is 2 games in a row where I like more of a rotation. It sucks that Hansberry can't play. I don't know what his role necessarily would have been in this game. But he's going 8. He's going 8 today. Dane's free throw is up. No good, but we got a Luke Goody rebound. All right. Set up the offense. Luke, 3. Be there. Oh, my good God. In and out. In and out. 0 for 5. I mean, he's playing his butt off, and he's getting offensive rebounds and giving himself a chance. Illinois switches up top here over some screens. Here is a nice take, but no good. Nice job by Dane helping out defensively. Terrence trying to take it to the rim. And he does not get the foul called. And Brad does not complain. Can't get a second tee. God, man, Goody. You just need one of them. You just need one. And at a certain point, do you stop shooting them? You're at 9 minutes to go. 6-point Illinois lead. A little bit late going over the screen here, but good help from Dane down low. Up and no good. Get the board, get the board, get the board. God dang it. Here's Wilcher. Back up top. We got a major mismatch here. This is a guard number 3 with Dane on him. This is Williams, right? Good job by Dane keeping him in front of him. And Wilcher for 3. Missed it. Luke with the board. 8:35 to go. Here's Marcus. Luke wants it. 8:30. Here's Marcus with 20 in the shot clock. Just taking it. He finds Terrence, but is kicked out. Get it. Nope, it's going to be a turnover. Just can ill afford that. All right. Master with the ball, back over to Wilcher. We got 8:12 to go. We're close to the under 8 media timeout. Can you get a stop? Can you string together stops? Here's Mast with Damask on him. Luke helping out. This is going to be a 3 for Hoiberg. It is no good. Jesus, my life flashes before my eyes whenever they're shooting a 3. Whew. 7:55 to go. Get it across the timeline, Marcus. Thank you. Right at 20. Dane coming up to set a pick up high. Luke will have an open 3 here. He kicks it over to Harmon. Harmon back up to Damask. Over to Terrence. Passes up the 3. Back to Damask. Damask 3. No good. Dane with the board. He misses it. Oh, my God. He missed a dunk. I mean, a great offensive board, and he misses the dunk. 7:20 to go. Nebraska ball. Mast up top. We got 7:10 on the game. This game is flying. Here's Mast with Dane on him. Dane keeps him in front of him. Up and in. 4-point lead. It is 7 minutes to go. Oh, man. Does Illinois want a substitution here? I mean, you got 3 timeouts, but no, they're letting it go. Here's Marcus with the ball. We just aren't making threes. I mean, that's just it. Call timeout if you need it. Here's Luke. Kicks it over to Harmon. Harmon driving it. Misses the layup. I really wish I really wish you would have called the timeout. Got some fresh legs in there. This has been a long sequence. 6:30 to go. Mast, open three. No good. Terrence with the board. Terrence, make something happen. Come on. Here's Harmon. The three. No. Jesus Christ. 6 minutes ago, 6:10, the three for Nebraska is no good. Terrence, don't pass the ball. I want this in Terrence's hands. It has been almost 4 minutes since you made a field goal. Call a timeout if you need to. You've got 3 of them. Here's Terrence trying to make something happen. 15 on the shot clock. Here's Damask trying to make something happen. Fade away. Makes it. Jesus. Can we call a timeout at some point? You have 3 of them, Brad. And Nebraska does. I guess you were forcing their hand there. Man. All right, up 6, 5:45 to go, Nebraska timeout, and now you get some fresh legs in there. Oh, my God. Alana Brickroll. He rations timeouts for Y2K. I don't want to make a mountain of a molehill there, but, I mean, you were getting to an extended stretch of basketball without any breaks for about, I don't know what it was exactly, but at least 3 minutes it felt like. And thank God they were missing, and I'm just like, you've got 3 timeouts to get the guys in there that you want. Now, you could also argue, well, the flow of the game wasn't hurting you, and if anything, it should make Nebraska more tired on short rest. I don't know. We'll see here in the last 5:45. Yeah, but it's just about getting stops now. All right. Well, while we have a break here, and I don't know if that's also going to count as the under 8 media timeout. I mean, we're so far past it. It is crazy. So you might get a couple quick timeouts here. But while we got a break, DPDO online at dpdo.com for all the best deals and prices. dpdo.com. State Farm agent Brian Hansen online at brianismyguy.com. Life, auto, home, business, renters, you name it. Brian is my guy, and he could be your guy as well. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Give them a call at 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend. And finally, Owen Builders, LLC, online at owenbuildersllc.com for home additions, patios, decks, and more. Check out a gallery of their work online at owenbuildersllc.com. A frenetic pace in this half. Only 1 foul on Illinois, and I think maybe 3 on Nebraska. So, yeah, Terry, thanks for that update. For Illinois, only 1 foul. You just got to get stops. This, to me, is one of those moments where, okay, guys, show me. We've had some stops, but the thing is there's still been open looks, and Nebraska has stopped making them. I'd like to think that can continue, but I would rather us kind of force the issue with a little bit more pressure on defense. So we'll see what happens. This is from Ryan. Brad is too sparing with timeouts for a coach whose plays out of timeouts are awful. I do think, Ryan, the plays out of timeouts have gotten better. That used to be a concern early, but I'm not as concerned about that. Nebraska with 4 fouls. So free throws at the moment don't look to be a big issue in this half. It's just going to be one possession after another. And every stop matters because I think you will continue to score now that you got your best lineup back out there, and Terrence is staying on the court. So you have... What do we got? I'd like to see Ty out there, too. Tell me Ty's out there. He is. Good. Okay, so you're back to your starting 5 with 5:37 to go. Tominaga back out there as well with Terrence on him. This is going to be a take and a nice block from Ty. I freaking love Ty. All right. Marcus gets it across half court. 5:20 to go in the game. Quincy, shoot it. Oh, my God, I can't believe I was asking him to shoot it. And Quincy looking for the foul, but he just throws it out of bounds. What's going on here? Is it going to be Illinois ball? They're going to say out of bounds on Nebraska. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't going to land that dunk. Anyways, it's Illinois ball, fortunately. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Damask for Terrence. Be there, Terrence. Yes. 3. By Terrence to put Illinois up 9. Oh, God. Okay, Terrence on Tominaga. And he got bumped on that screen, and he is grimacing a little bit. Here's Mass for 3. Why wouldn't he miss? Or why would he? Excuse me. Of course he makes it. Jesus Christ. All right, Terrence is favoring his hand. So he's not going to be shooting it on this possession, I don't believe. Here's Marcus with 4:30 to go. And Quincy just being a bonehead. Get him out of the game. Get him out of the game. I'd rather Luke be in there. You don't need Quincy's size. He's hurting you. But hopefully Ryan Evan doesn't subtweet his mom, the fact that I said that. What is Quincy do? I don't know. 12 turnovers for Illinois. Just a lazy screen. Here's Mass for 3 again. No good. And a board from Ty because he's the freaking man. All right. 4:17 to go. 66-60. Illinois with a chance to extend their lead. Damask over to Ty. To Coleman in the corner. The 3 is up and good. Whew. Coleman and Terrence coming up big. All right, it looks like Terrence is shaking off whatever might have been ailing his hand, but Tominaga blows past him for a layup. Come on now. Come on. He's got 22. Here's Damask. Gets across half court with some authority. He looks for Ty. Over to Quincy, who pump fakes. Back up top to Marcus. Here's Terrence. Clear out. Let him go. Let him go. Here's Coleman up top. Don't force it, Coleman. He finds Terrence in the corner. The 3 is up and good. Holy crap, guys. When you needed it the most, you started making 3s. Terrence, Shannon with 2 big 3s and Coleman with 1 sandwiched in there. 10-point lead with 3:28 to go. Oh, my goodness me. Whew. What was the halftime score? 36-34. You have held Nebraska to 26. And that's pretty good for a Nebraska team, though that is more on par for what they do on the road. I have still seen a few too many open shots by them. I got to think that the fatigue is having some factor. I know these are young guys. These are great athletes, but for them to dig deep for these last 3:28. Listen, Illinois, this is where they can impose their will. I would imagine after the quick turnaround for Nebraska. Impose your will now when it counts. And here's my key. Don't let Tominaga or Mast shoot. That's it. Don't let Tominaga or Mast get a shot off. And if that means that Williams or I think Lawrence or Alec or whoever else is in there gets a layup, I can live with that. But make them work. Make them work here. Omani break roll with a interesting point from the first half. Yes, DGL instead of Nico again. I would imagine that's it going forward. Brad specifically talked about Gibbs Lawhorn yesterday in the press conference and gave props to his defense against Ohio State, and that's going to get you playing time. As far as the amount of time this half has gone in real time, we started this pod, oh boy. I mean, this in real time, this half has only been going on for about 36 minutes, and we are almost done. I love the way this game has been officiated. Now, granted, it's been a little bit more finesse of a game. This is not a knockdown, drag-out, bruising kind of affair. So the fouls reflect that. The foul situation reflects that. But, man, what that is allowed to do is ultimately, despite my frustrations when, Nebraska wouldn't go away, it's made this a pretty enjoyable game, I think. So it's a 10-point Illinois lead, and it will be Nebraska ball. Every possession now, guys. You get a week off after this. You go balls to the wall for 3:28. Make your free throws, but the thing is they got fouls to give. So you still got a couple more possessions here where offensively you can help close it out too. Looks like a pretty good environment, State Farm Center. I will say, again, back to the idea that the pace of the game, the entertainment value of the game, it's been there. And I think from the start, an inspired effort from both teams. I did not question Illinois' effort or anything early. I thought they were pretty good. Jesus. A 3 for I don't even know. Bryce Williams. Maybe. God dang. He's got 7 points. He's 3 of 11 shooting, but of course he makes one there. 3 minutes to go. Here's Damask trying to take it himself. And he wants the foul. He's not going to get it, but he does get his own rebound. Kick it out, and Terrence wants the 3. Kicked out from Coleman. Set it up. 2:50 to go. Wow. 2 more offensive boards for Illinois. Here's Damask getting a pick up top from Ty. Damask with 8 on the shot clock. Is he going to have to force something? Here's Terrence again. The 3 is no good. It is Nebraska ball with 2:30 to go and a 7-point Illinois lead. Someone stop the ball with Tominaga. They do not. 5-point game. That took them all of 8 seconds to get a layup. Boy, that is frustrating. Closing time, and you've given up 5 quick points. Here's Damask trying to take it himself. Back up top to Terrence. Don't settle for 3s. Take it in. Here's a pick coming up top from Ty. This is Quincy in the corner for 3. No. Rebound, and it's a foul on the floor. Illinois will get a fresh possession. I think 20 seconds on the shot clock. That's only the 5th foul on Nebraska. We are under 2, 1:56 to go. 20 on the shot clock. We need better looks than that. All right. I don't know why Quincy's out there. I don't mean to pick, but I don't know why he's out there. I think you might as well go Luke because he's rebounding better, and I don't think defensively it kills you that much the way these two guys are playing. All right, 15 on the shot clock. Ty coming up for a pick. Damask over to Quincy. Quincy taking a baseline over to Coleman in the corner. We got 8 on the shot clock. Coleman trying to create some space. He's going to have to kind of one-man it here, and it's going to be out of bounds. Illinois ball, 2.3 on the shot clock. 1:39 to go. I'd get Luke in there, man. He can spot up for a 3 or something. It's going to be Damask, though, who's going to have to shoot it. Fadeaway is no good. Nebraska ball, 5-point Illinois lead, 1:30 to go. Someone stop the ball. Tominaga's got it. This is Damask on him. Tominaga again. And it's going to be off of Mask's foot. No, Mask gets it back. It's going to be up top. What do we got? We got a foul on the floor. We got a foul on the floor, and it should be, not a shooting foul, right? Should not be a shooting foul, I don't think. What the hell? Is a shooting foul? How the hell is that a shooting foul? Help me out, chat thread. Was that a shooting foul? It must have been, because it's only Illinois' 3rd foul, so 2 shots coming up for Mast. He makes 1. Jesus Christ, guys. Awful couple minutes. Awful. It is a 3-point game with 1:23 to go. Wow. All right, here's Marcus. 7-0 scoring run for Nebraska. We got 1:10 to go. Coleman does not take the 3. It's over to Quincy. Quincy looking for Coleman. No, back up to Marcus. 10 on the shot clock. Marcus trying to make some happen. He's got a big guy, Alec, on him. He's going to have to take it himself. Fadeaway jumper is up and no good, but Ty gets it back to Coleman. 20 on the shot clock. Nebraska's going to play D. Nebraska's going to play defense. 2 timeouts for Illinois, but they are not taking it. 42 seconds. Here's Terrence, right side of the perimeter. He loses his dribble. He just passes it to Juwan Gary. And he fouls him. Just an absolute implosion from this Illinois team right now. Just very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. Good thing he didn't make that. Here's Juwan Gary. And, I mean, the thing is, Nebraska is 2 fouls away here from sending Illinois to the line. They're looking at the clock to see how much time will be left here. Man, just an absolutely disappointing 3-minute stretch. You have a 10-point lead, and all you got to do is string some possessions together. And as Greg says, melting down. And you better hope that 10-point lead was enough. Jacob says, I'd rather have Shannon chuck it up. Yeah, I mean, again, Brad Underwood has 2 timeouts there. When you got that ball back and there's 10 seconds left in the shot clock and nothing's going, call the freaking timeout. What are you saving it for? All right. 32.5 left in the game. Now, Nebraska, regardless of what happens here, will have to extend the game because they can't just defend with that little time between here. Juwan Gary at the line. First free throw is up, and it's good. Wow. Just a really piss-poor closeout by Illinois here. Just really piss-poor. 32.5 to go. Nebraska trying to go 10 for 10 from the line here with this shot. And they do. All right, they're going to go full court. 2 timeouts for Illinois. It is a 9-0 scoring run for Nebraska, and they call a timeout to look at this. All right, well, I mean, this is on Brad and the team at a certain point. You got to survive this. You have to survive this. And if you don't, there's going to be some major questions to answer. End-of-game situations, it was the last possession in particular where you're already up 3. You got the ball back on an offensive board. Your offense is discombobulated. You have 2 timeouts left. And this timeout was actually from Illinois. You have 2 timeouts left. You could have used one right there. You're under a minute to go in the game. You need a bucket. And then you just have a broken down possession. I know that he would say he doesn't like to give the defense time to prepare and set something up. That's fine. But your offense had about 3 or 4 bad possessions in a row. Again, I think Luke is back out there. Am I right? Yes, he is. Instead of Quincy, so you got more of a threat. But this is going to be about making free throws at this point. Illinois' last made field goal at 3:29. So Illinois is doing 5 down on the baseline, it looks like. And Harmon is in there as well because of his free throw shooting ability. So you are going with Damask, Harmon, Goody, Coleman, and Terrence. Harmon gets it into Damask. Damask gets fouled with 31.7. Nebraska is really going to try to extend this right now and give themselves as much chance as they have. All right, so at least you're over half court. You'll inbound it from the side. You can use the full court here, I'm pretty sure, to inbound it. Man, oh man. Did not have to be like this. Did not have to be this hard. All right, Harmon. Looking for somebody. Terrence. It is intercepted. Nebraska has the ball and a chance to win. Timeout, Nebraska. And he had a timeout to burn. Wow. Just pathetic. A bunch of seniors that don't know what they'll look like. They don't know what they're doing. Luke is the young one there. He's a junior. Alec intercepts that. Almost a 5-second violation. You had Terrence right there. I mean, you just got to throw it to Terrence. He'll get hugged and get fouled. Boy, oh boy. Just abysmal, Illinois. Just really piss poor. This is the kind of game where if you end up winning it, you're just relieved. But this really erased what I thought were some positives that you could take from this game, and just seeing some mental ineptitude against a team that's been bad on the road. And you could say, well, you know, it's basketball. These things happen. It doesn't happen often with Maryland on the road, and it doesn't often happen with Nebraska on the road. These would be 2 bad home losses that essentially, I don't think you can talk like 3-line anymore in the NCAA tournament. You aren't going to talk Big Ten title, and that's not top of mind for me. But every opportunity to close this game out, and you have made every wrong decision and bad play that you possibly could. Quincy's back in the game for, I guess, defensive purposes, and Nebraska will probably go right away. I don't think they're going to wait. And one timeout left for Illinois and none for Nebraska. So it's going to come down to getting a stop and making free throws or having to make a game-winning shot yourself. All right. 27.4 to go. Nebraska ball with a chance to take the lead. I don't think they're going to hold for a game winner. They're going to try to score right away so they can extend this thing. All right, so Mask gets the inbound. Here is Williams for Nebraska. Up and no good. And we got a jump ball. And it's going to be Nebraska ball. The frustrating thing with that is there was a push-off, and they did not call it. There's no shot clock. 19.4 to go. One timeout for Illinois, but they're going to pocket it, and it all comes down to getting this stop. Here's an inbound. Wilcher makes a cut. Tominaga makes a cut. Tominaga in the corner. Terrence trying to make something happen. He does not quite get the steal. Here's Mast with Coleman on him. Mast up and in. Nebraska with the lead with 9.3 to go. You got to go, Marcus. And he gets fouled. There was a foul to give. No. There was not a foul to give. Is it going to be a shooting foul? Or two? Let me know, chat thread. Marcus will go with the line, but I don't know if it's 1-1 or for two. That's got to be shooting foul. Yeah. He'll have two. 3.1 to go. Marcus at the line. Makes the first. We have a tie game. Chance to take the lead with 3.1 to go, but that's a lot of time. I mean, with this Nebraska team. Marcus at the line to shoot a second free throw. It is up. No good. Wilcher traveled, but they're not going to call it, and we're going to overtime because we couldn't close the game out. Couldn't make the free throw to win it. Couldn't close it. That was a pathetic display from Illinois and their home woes. Can we call them that? I'd like Brad Underwood's teams to get their head out of their ass at home, frankly. Boy, that's really frustrating right there. And all momentum on Nebraska's side. You better if you lose this game, that's a lot of goodwill gone. That's a lot of goodwill gone for a game that you have no freaking business losing. And, I was on a podcast yesterday with Cody from CHGO Sports. And, listen, Underwood is your long-term guy. And I'm okay saying that, but also okay saying there are certain things that they got to stop. These random home losses, when you have teams that you'd like to think are dangerous, that can be there at the end of the season, they got to stop. That was a choke, an absolute choke, an 11-1 scoring run to end regulation against a team that less than 72 hours ago had an emotional home win in overtime against Wisconsin, and you couldn't close it out against them. Terrence nowhere to be found in the last 3 minutes. Damask, you got to make the free throw. You got to make the free throw. And as Jacob says, another game winner missed by Damask. Essentially. Very frustrating. And I don't know. You just got to win. I got to see something from this team. I have to. That was such a pathetic last 3 minutes. And just win and salvage it and then move on. But the concerns continue. Defensively, you couldn't get stops when you needed to. You were spotted a 10-point lead with 3:20 to go, and you couldn't get the freaking stops. Get the stops now. Show some freaking pride at home and get some stops as you win the tip. There's 4:50 to go in the game. Here's Damask. Over to Coleman for 3. Not even close. And a foul on Tominaga. Quincy will go to the line, shooting 1-1. God. And air ball 3 from Coleman. .446 to go. Nebraska has the possession arrow. Illinois is in the bonus, thanks to 8 fouls from Nebraska, and we only have 4 team fouls on us, so Nebraska aways from being in the bonus themselves. Quincy makes the first. 74-73. 2 more timeouts awarded to each team. Fortunately, Illinois, they have 3 timeouts. Can you believe it? Quincy misses the second. .74-73 with 4:40 to go. And we got an errant pass, but Juwan Gary recovers it. 15 on the shot clock for Nebraska. Here's Williams going over the screen. Ty recovers and gets back on Mast. Here's Quincy on Mast. Mast taking it into the paint. This is going to be Juwan Gary driving it up, in, good. 1-point lead for Nebraska. And they just got the momentum right now. And, boy, the fact we're even here. Nice finish by Marcus, though. 76-75 with 4:05 to go. Marcus playing, I think, well. I mean, he missed the game winner. He did. But one of the few guys down the stretch here that's still signs of life offensively. Here's Mast. Coleman on him. Up and in. No, he missed it. It rolled out. Oh, my God, that was halfway down. Here's Coleman trying to make something happen. Kicks it out to Quincy for 3. He made it. Oh, my God. Thank God. Whew. Big shot from Quincy. That is maybe what he needs, I hope. All right, 3:30 to go, 79-75. He's got 12. Whoa. How about that? Here's Wilcher over to Tominaga. Tie on him. Tominaga 3. He makes it. Fadeaway 3. Oh, my God. 8 fouls on Nebraska. Can we take advantage of that and get to the line a little bit here? 3:05 to go. Here's Marcus trying to make something happen over to Terrence. Terrence trying to drive it in. Up and in. It is back to a 3-point Illinois lead with 3 to go. Just don't let Tominaga shoot the 3. Don't let him shoot it. In here. Oh, God. Oh, God. And they want the little hip pointer around the screen. They are not getting it. Here's Tominaga looking for Mast, up and in. It is back to a 1-point game. Just a 2-man game there. Can't stop it. Mast and Tominaga. This defense sucks. I hate to say it, guys, but regardless of outcome, we got a problem defensively here. But for the meantime, just win this game. Damask, 3 is no good. Ty gets the board, and he gets fouled, and he will go to the line to shoot 1-1. I hope he's okay. He plays so hard. That's Alec, I believe, on the foul. And it will be 1-1 for Ty. Jacob says he can jump out of the gym. He basically can. I mean, I bet his hands are 12 feet in the freaking air when he does some of those. All right. Here's Ty. Free throw is no good. And we're going to review it on a hook and hold, and I think Illinois might get a break here. Let's take a look at this replay because Quincy had no opportunity to get that rebound. And let's hope, Jacob says, that should be a flagrant one on Nebraska. Jacob, if you can elaborate on what you saw in real time, and we're going to look here at the replay. I don't know. I mean, did he get hit in the face? He got hit in the upper chest. But if they did that, they got to at least call a foul, right? Did he get hit in the face? I got to see this. Okay, here we go. I mean, the problem is And do we get a hook and hold as well? I don't know. We'll have to see here. This will probably be a couple minutes. He got him right in the jugular almost. A throat chop. Could you get a flagrant on that? I mean, was it flagrant? So it looks like they're calling something. And they're saying Mass clipped him. I don't know. Well, we'll see, guys, because the chat window seems to be undecided as to exactly what happened. It is a 1-point Illinois lead with 2:21 to go. And it looks like nothing, right? Because Quincy's walking back the other way. And Nebraska ball. Yeah, I don't know. I've seen more egregious things. He didn't get hit in the face. So since there was no common foul, it could only be a flagrant or nothing. Okay, interesting. Oops, sorry. Let's hit the damn microphone. 2:15 to go. Juwan Gary. Here's Tominaga. Going to go over the screen on Terrence. They switch. So Coleman's on Tominaga now. This is Bryce Williams with Harmon on him. He's given up a couple inches. Here's Mast with Terrence on him. And it's going to be Mast up and no good and no foul. Big stop with 1:55 to go. Here's Terrence, who has not done much offensively since his threes late that helped get you that big lead. Here's Marcus. Here's Coleman, top of the key. Over to Harmon. Harmon does not take the three. Thought about it, didn't take it. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Marcus. Terrence, make a move, Terrence. Go. Go. Here's Coleman. Someone's got to shoot. Shoot the ball. He gets fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. Oh, man, we go right up against it with that shot clock. Man. 2 coming up here for Coleman. That short second half, not so much. Well, I guess the second half was short. But overtime pushing this actually past 7:30 by a little bit. This is Illini Brick Roll. We're afraid to drive. It is puzzling because it seems like Terrence, if it's not transition, he's not driving. Not yet. Coleman free throws up and good. 82-80. I mean, every point matters, but it just comes down to stops. That's all it is now. Just getting stops. The last one was big. Terrence bodying up Mast. But, make the free throw here and just get some freaking stops. Win the game. You're in double bonus. So the rest of the way you can attack. Coleman makes the second. It's a 3-point Illinois lead. 1:29 to go. All right. You got a week to rest, guys. Just put it all out there for this minute and a half. All right, here's Bryce Williams bringing across. Tie on him. Mass coming up for a pick up top. Coleman on him. Terrence is on Tominaga. Long 3 from Tominaga is no good. He missed it. Can you believe it? Whew, that's a big miss. Illinois with a chance to make it a 2-possession lead. There's 1:10 left in the game. That was like a 28-footer there from Tominaga. Here we go. Damas getting the pick right from Coleman. Coleman up top. Thought about a 3, but no. And we're going to get a timeout from Underwood. He has not been this surly in quite a while. I don't know who he's pissed at. And I do think this is a good point from Illini Brick Roll. Why not press with fouls to give? Well, I think now you do. If not press, right? I think that if you were to get a 5-point lead, right, you let the guys know, okay, if your guy happens to get free, just grab his wrist. Grab his wrist. If Tominaga gets free over a screen, Terrence, it's okay. Grab his wrist because you got a couple of mistakes that you can give up here. And as Terry reminds us, Illinois is in double bonus, which gives them an opportunity to be aggressive, drive, get the foul, and it's not even 1-and-1 anymore. You get 2 opportunities. Jacob, if we're too gassed and they aren't, that's a problem. I mean, they got to be running on fumes. But he makes the point that it feels like we're too gassed to press. And honestly, I don't think it's so much pressing as Illini Brickell had mentioned, but just knowing that you can get handsy. In that worst case, they just take the ball back out and they got to reset their offense. All right, here's Damask with 15 on the shot clock and 1 minute to go in the game. 3-point Illinois lead, a chance to extend the lead. Here's Coleman. Over to Justin Harmon. Over to Marcus. Here's Terrence. Drive it in, Terrence. The three from Terrence is no good. And Tominaga fell pretty hard. It's Nebraska ball with 40 seconds to go and 20 on the shot clock. It's a 3-point lead. Got to get a stop. It's all about stops. Here's Bryce Williams. Terrence on Tominaga. Tominaga taking it in. Up. No good, but he will go the line, and he will shoot two. And just a silly, cheap body foul. We're lucky he didn't make it. How do you come out of that timeout and not go to the basket with double bonus? How do you come out of that timeout and not go to the basket? I don't understand that. This has been Brad's worst, by a considerable margin. When you had many opportunities to stop the bleeding, he didn't. And that play, you don't drive it? With a 3-point lead and double bonus? Tominaga is going to make both, so it's going to be a 1-point game with 27.3 to go. I don't get it, Greg. That's absolute bullcrap from Underwood. I say that, listen, he's the guy. He's our coach. He is long-term. That's a good thing, but what the hell? Marcus or Terrence or even Coleman's been drawing fouls. 27.3 to go. Here's Tominaga. The free throw is up, and it's good. Of course. Illinois ball with a 1-point lead. Tominaga takes a seat for a defensive substitution, and Nebraska will try for the turnover, but then they're going to have to foul, and it's double bonus. We get a foul or a turnover. They got a foul, and boy, did we get lucky on that. Damask will go to the line. They almost tied him up, and it would have been Nebraska ball. Watching this replay here, and boy, oh boy, that was close. If that's home cooking, I'll take it. But Damask going to the line to shoot two with 25.4 to go. All right. Here's Damask. First is up and good. 84 to 82. Tominaga, I'm sure, coming back in. Luke Goody taking a seat. Quincy back in for defense. Oh, Jesus. Ty coming back in as well, if there is a whistle here. Or I should say if Damask makes it, Ty will come back in, it looks like. Okay, it's good. It's a 3-point lead with 25.4 to go. It looks like Ty is coming back in. Illinois has fouls to give. They have one before then it would become the next one's for bonus. Okay. 24 to go. Make that 20. Here's Bryce Williams with Ty on him, and they do get the foul to give, but a little bit early. But the question is Illinois going to be okay sending them to the line 1-1 instead of giving them the opportunity to make a three? That seems a bit risky. All right, here we go. That's the sixth foul on Illinois. 20.4 to go. Here's Tominaga. They're going to call a foul on Terrence on the reach. And we'll see that replay. And it looks like Terrence, call from the guy behind him. I can't complain that much when you consider the foul that they called when Damask was almost tied up. Makeup call says on the mark, perhaps. Tominaga will go 1-1. It's up. It's good. He's making both. I mean, he's not going to miss this. Boy, oh boy. 85-83. Tominaga for the second. Nebraska's 13 for 13 from free throw line. Make it 14 for 14. Incredible. Okay, Illinois will inbound it. And let's see if it can be a little bit easier than last time. And they are in double bonus. But regardless, even with 2 made free throws, Nebraska will have a chance. Here's Harmon. They're trying to get into Terrence. They get it, and Harmon gets it back, thank God, and he will go the line to shoot 2 with 16.8. That was almost a disaster again. Career high for Casey Tominaga. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't there be another guy to have a game or career high, Brick Girl, against Illinois? There's been a couple that have been ridiculous that he's made, but yeah. Here's Harmon at the line. He's going to get 2 here with 16 seconds to go. First one is up and good. Oh, my God. Goody takes a seat, so I assume Quincy's back out. 16.8. Ryan, I'll get to that comment in a bit. I liked it. Second free throw for Justin Harmon is up. It's good. Massive. And we got another substitution. I believe Ty will come in for him. Nebraska's going to shoot a quick 3, I would imagine. Under 20 seconds. I think it's just going to be Tominaga, chuck one up. All right, here he goes. This is going to be Terrence on him, waiting for him. With 12 to go, here's Tominaga going over the screen. It's going to be Mass, though. The 3. Yes, Terrence got it. Yes. Oh, my God. Pass it. Dunk it. Illinois is going to win. Oh, my God. 1.7 to go. Oh. Massive turnover. Oh, my good Lord. Watching the replay coming up here. They switched on to Tominaga, who didn't get it back over to Mast quickly enough. They might have had an open look had he been quicker, but it was a good switch by Illinois. The double froze him, and when it got to Mast, he never, I don't think, quite had a handle on it. So we'll take a look at it. But here's Terrence at the line. Just needs 1. And he's got 2 shots to get it. First one rims out. Just make this one. And then it's over. I'm just having shades of him missing it and Tominaga chucking an 80-foot one-hander. Hey, Ryan, you had a good one here. Though I like the way Barry Lunny's season ended. But Ryan says these inbound plays look like Lunny drew them up. Yeah. Hey, it makes me think, Ryan, of the third Underwood year. Yeah, the third year, where maybe even the second, actually. It was early because there was a game against Maryland at home, go figure, in December where you had that game won. And DeMonte, I think, had 2 bad inbounds plays. From Alani Brickroll and Jacob, yeah, he should have just dunked it. I understand there was the wherewithal to be like, hey, run the clock out. Okay, fine. And worst case, you are going to the line. But no, dunk it. This is sort of like the end of the Florida Atlantic game in football where it's like, no, just run it in the end zone. Because what if you have a bad QB kneel and something crazy happens? But yes, next time just dunk it. But put it away right here with your second free throw. And as Alani Brickle says, yeah, I get the clock thing, but you were not up 4. All right, here is Terrence. 1.7 to go. The free throw is up. It is no good. Tominaga is just going to chuck it. He didn't get off in time, I don't think. It's off the backboard anyways. Illinois escapes. Thank God. They got to figure out this defense thing because it is a problem. But the offense is not. And they were 8-3 in the Big Ten, and they took Nebraska's best shot. And Tominaga did not get that off anyways, so thank goodness. He wasn't that far from it. I mean, just the inability to close it out in regulation was concerning. The inability to just make the free throw the end for Terrence. I mean, that's just 2 free throws. There are bigger crimes at the end of the game, but I just don't understand how this had to be so tough. I don't think it had to be. And what worries me is it kind of shows this weird lack of maturity from a team that is old and has been, for the most part, really mature this year. Now, granted, has Illinois been in many close games? No, not necessarily. But boy, oh boy, it took every fiber of their being to get that win, and I don't think it should have had to. But you know what? Lot more fun to talk about that after a win than a loss. That could have been absolute disaster, and thank God it is not. As Jacob says, need a week to self-reflect. They do. They need a week to not just prep for the next opponent, but to get themselves right. Hey, I want to thank you all for joining me in the YouTube feed on this Sunday evening at a really weird time. It was a game that I did not expect to go this way, but especially when you're up 10 with 3:28 to go, felt like, hey, that's a really positive second half, followed by a really bad 3 minutes. But they did get the win. And hey, here's the thing. In overtime, they actually, I thought, had more good than bad in overtime. It's just don't do that next time. And hey, better news, you're going on the road for your next game because you seem to do better there. I'll be in East Lansing Saturday, but we'll probably do a midweek podcast between now and then and just kind of hit the reset button as Illinois is now 8-3 and more than halfway through the Big Ten season. All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining me on YouTube. Thanks for listening for those that are recapping the game, whether it be on your way to work or you're sitting in the cubicle tomorrow and you're just trying to pass the time and just see just how pissed off did Carp get during Nebraska's comeback. But Illinois wins 86-83 in overtime, improves to 8-3 in the Big Ten, and are now tied with Wisconsin for second place. All right, everybody. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon, and it is the 200 level. Thanks again, YouTube. Have a great rest of your night, and thank God. Whew.